So evening, lovely yogis, get yourself comfortable, nice and cosy and relaxed, wherever you want to start. Lying on the mat or seated on the mat. Maybe just join me in a deep breath. Lovely inhale. And a nice sigh on the exhale. And let the body really kind of exaggerate a movement perhaps, and just take a few moments to notice what you're feeling, whether you're a bit tense in the back and between the shoulder blades. It's where I always get my tension. Maybe for you it's neck and shoulders, sometimes hips and knees. These are the joints that, especially when the weather is a bit cold and damp, they can play up a little bit. So have an awareness on how you're feeling. It might be the digestive system, so not the joints, but that you hold tension in the belly, or maybe the lungs and chest area is where you kind of gravitate your tension. So just checking in with how you're feeling overall. No judgment. This is a place on this mat where we can actually just love ourselves, appreciate ourselves, release the need to be perfect or right. Just finding that really lovely accepting place of just being. Not even being our best, because the best leaves no room for anything else. We're just being on the mat. And it creates a lovely, peaceful place when we can just accept, surrender to what is. As I mention those words, just surrendering to what is and letting things be, notice maybe what thoughts you've had today that have been a little bit self-critical, or you've judged or challenged yourself in a way, and just notice what you can let go. You might say to yourself, I'm not even going to worry about how much I weigh, or how my clothes fit me, or what my hair looks like. Let it all go. You are perfect as you are. Perfect in our imperfections. And when we think this way, it brings our vibration up. Have a moment to root your energies. Feet, tailbone, back of the body. Imagine those roots. And as you breathe, just bring in some lovely, loving thoughts towards yourself. I often like to describe talking to yourself as you would your dearest loved one or a best friend. We should turn that towards ourselves more often. So if you're lying down, have a few moments just to bring the knees in, enjoy a nice little rock. And if you're seated and you just want to have a roll of the shoulders or flex a little bit before we come to seated again, we'll come to Zazen, just a quiet seated meditation tonight. No agenda, no counting. Literally just we'll follow the breath until we've realised we're not following it, and then a thought takes us away, and then we realise that the thought has taken us away, and then the consciousness brings us back. And we maybe find that little gap between the next thought as well. We're just going to be. So I shall pop the timer on for 5 minutes. Allow yourself to get relaxed and comfortable. And let's just sit in this lovely meditative, quiet space, finding that peacefulness. Every out-breath, just take a few moments to relax. Just follow your breath and just be. Finding the gap between your thoughts. And just taking one more conscious breath. And coming back. How many times did your mind wander? Did you fall into quite a nice, deep relaxation? All just observances. So, the first pose is dragonfly, sorry, not dragon. Did that one the other day. So a nice stretch out through our legs. And if you want something just tucked under the edge of your buttocks, that can always feel a little bit nice to tilt the pelvis a little bit more forward. And if you need something under your knees as well, small rolled up towel can be perfect sometimes. And then we're just going to soften into this stretch, this lovely stretch that targets our liver and kidneys and spleen. Nice deep breaths. Relaxing feet and ankles if they're a little bit tense to start with. Where are you feeling it? Where in the body? And just allowing the neck and shoulders, upper body to soften. And just enjoying how it feels to breathe here into the back of the body, belly breaths. Keep relaxing. And just witnessing your thoughts, notice what's going through your mind. Keep letting go when you can. How does it feel to breathe? And we'll take a lovely deep breath. And gently lifting up. Have a moment to come down onto your mat. Enjoying some deep breaths here. And really allowing everything to relax and melt, soften into the mat. It might take a fair few breaths just to let that lower back go. Just letting everything ease now, perhaps. And when you're ready, let's bring our knees in. Nice little hug. If you've got a block handy for the next one, we're going to come into supported bridge. If you haven't got a block, then, a bolster is fine and actually a little bit softer, or a stack of cushions. You can do this two ways: block on the highest height or the second height, whatever feels right for you. There's times when I sort of choose different heights depending on how I'm feeling. So this evening I'll go on the higher height. Lie down, bring feet to buttocks, come onto the tiptoes, and then just lifting the body, placing that block under the sacrum, that sort of flat part that's sort of in line with the top of the buttocks or just below. Just make sure it's not encroaching on the lumbar part of your spine and vertebra. And then just arms to the sides, wherever they're comfortable, and trying to relax the shoulders and neck and the inner thighs. Nice deep breaths. Notice also if you're sort of clenching in the buttocks a little bit, and just letting go. And just tuning into how this pose feels for you in this moment tonight. Is it easy to relax, or is it taking a while to find the tension, identify it, and soften? And as you relax a bit more, you can breathe more deeply into the belly. Lengthening the back of the neck perhaps will relax through the shoulders more. How do you feel? Is this a welcome pose this evening? If at any time you need to come out, please do. If it's a little bit too long or too much for a certain part of the body. Keep relaxing. And then when you're ready, we'll take a deep breath. Gradually just and safely lift the body, come onto the toes, moving so that you can pop the block to the side and gently rolling down. Notice how that feels. Sometimes the poses we come into, we don't realise we really need them until afterwards, in this sort of reflective period of neutral. And it feels really quite refreshing. Relaxing wrists and arms. And just aware of whether the mind is quite still, whether there is only really one train of thought rather than multiple. And maybe everything's just starting to fade a little bit now. So we'll draw our knees in. Enjoy a nice little self-hug. Bring the head up if that feels nice. We're going to come into a lovely twist, so cat's tail next. And for this one, I like to have a cushion handy. I'm going to start lying on the right-hand side. And then bringing that left knee over in line with the hip. And if you can grab your right foot with your left hand, great. If not, don't worry, it really doesn't matter. You can use a strap if you have one handy, but otherwise let the foot just relax. And then rolling back. I use the pillow just to support the head, otherwise the neck will sometimes be very tense, holding the head. And then arm can just relax outwards or cradle the head. As long as you just kind of rolling that left shoulder back and finding a nice twist here. And maybe you'll feel also a lovely stretch through your right quad muscle and knee if you can hold your foot. And then relax. Just notice where you're initially holding tension, possibly lower back and buttocks, sides of the waist. And just keep adjusting head and neck. Notice how the breath moves through your body. How it kind of circles round into this twist. Keep relaxing anywhere that finds the tension creeping back in. And if this pose starts to sort of feel a little bit easier, then just explore moving further back into this twist, relaxing as well. Following your breath. Lovely one for gallbladder, this one. And linking with your digestive system. So with a few more breaths here, we'll just notice whatever we feel and then gradually come out. So rolling back to the side, releasing the foot nice and slowly. Really move slowly when you come out of these, and you can just observe every part that's been affected. It's just lovely to have that real conscious awareness of everything that's going on. Take a few deep breaths here. And tuning into how you're feeling around the right side of your waist and the left side of your waist, the lower back, how each arm and shoulder feels. And even in this pose, just looking for the tension that's still somewhere. And then drawing these in. A nice little rock on the back, perhaps feeling sort of the imbalance a little from the stretch. And then coming over to your left side now. Again, use a pillow. Right knee over, in line with hip. Grabbing your foot if you can. And then just rolling back. Every time you come into these poses, even though we do many of the same ones, they're always going to feel a little bit different each time. Enjoy this curiosity. Maybe one time you'll feel it a lot more on your quad muscle, or another time it will be more around the waist. Perhaps it's the shoulder or neck that we're finding hard to release. And even those of you that are holding your foot, if you can sort of hold it in a looser or the loosest way that you can, just to bring in the most relaxation. So softening lower back, release tension in the buttocks and waist. Really try and relax your head and neck. And if you can, just draw your awareness to your breath. See if you can follow your breath for as long as you can before the mind wanders. And if you do catch your next thought, noticing what nature it holds, whether it's a happy memory or you're thinking of the future, just catching yourself. Following the breath in the belly and chest. And very gradually we'll take one more breath. Releasing the foot. Notice how it feels as you just extend through the leg and the knee. And then finding your way into neutral. Take your time. Notice how that lower spine feels. Relax. Where can you feel any temperature change? Chi flowing. Notice if you are relaxed or whether there's still more you can let go. So we'll bring our knees in, having let the spine sort of find its natural shape again, and we're going to come into heart bench next. So a couple of blocks, if you've got them handy. And as I'm this way, I will draw the blocks. So one long ways and one on the top height for the head. Take your time to gradually come down. Always takes me a few goes at just moving the block ever so slightly, sort of forwards, backwards, finding that sort of perfect spot where I can begin to relax. And then just relaxing through the lower part of the back and buttocks. And allowing the thoracic upper chest to just open. Falling either side of that block, get a lovely stretch through the front part of our body and shoulders. If you haven't got the block quite in the right place, just take a few more moments to move it. And then if you can close your eyes and just give it time to soften and settle here. As you breathe, you can feel that firmness on the back of your body. A lovely pressure, maybe exactly where you need it, almost like a kind of a deep massage, that feeling when somebody gets right into the point which you need sort of rubbed or worked on. Notice when you're in this pose whether you tense the lower back a little bit, the muscles. And if you do notice it, just try and let go. And keep coming back to the areas where you naturally tense. If you're finding emotional things challenging, this is a lovely pose to come into. If there's a situation in life where we don't want to talk about it, we don't want to really go there, then we can allow the body to go there for us in a physical way. And just let the energy move. We don't have to articulate, we don't have to rationalize, we can just let the body shift anything that might be stuck. Just notice now if that block behind your back, which once felt a little bit angular and awkward, is becoming sort of more tolerable, even comfy in some way. Just take a moment to be the witness of your thoughts. And we'll take a few more breaths. Gently come up in your own time. Moving blocks and props, whatever you've used, and then coming down. Interested into noticing how it's going to feel. And just with your eyes closed, enjoying whatever after effect that pose has revealed to your body, physically, emotionally and mentally. Letting everything settle. And then when you're ready, just hug in. We're going to come into a waterfall next, one of our favourite poses, I know. Having moved the body in all directions this evening, so forwards, backwards, a lovely twist. And then if you've got a pillow, I like to use a pillow, and then just pop it under the bottom. And enjoying this really relaxing inversion. If where you are, you've got a wall that you can swing your heels up against and rest them there, then that is even better. Nice deep breath. Relax. And if your eyes are closed, you can just draw your awareness to your third eye, Ajna. Either drawing to mind an indigo colour or perhaps crystal. Whatever resonates most with you. And then in this pose, we can really draw awareness to our belly breaths. Relaxing your shoulders and neck and head. And if you notice any tightness in your face, just letting go. How do you feel? And maybe as we're in this pose, just contemplating all of the poses we've done in practice tonight. What's felt good, what's relieved certain areas. How conscious we've been with our breath. And just noticing the rhythm or the pace of your breath now. Whether there's just a lovely soft depth and flow to your breath. When you're ready, take a breath and gently lower the feet down, moving away any prop that you've just used, and come into Shavasana in neutral pose just for a moment. Feel whatever you feel. That felt lovely. I could have stayed there even longer. Nice deep breaths. Let your whole back relax. And then in your own time, if you want to come up to seated, please do. If you want to stay lying down, that's perfect too. I'm going to come into relaxation. And just getting warm. If you want to put a blanket around you. So as this is an evening practice, I quite like to draw the time of day into perhaps a visualization or relaxation. So as you just relax there, closing your eyes, I'd like you to imagine that you're going on a really late evening, sun is down, or a night walk along a beach. But a beach where you can hear the ocean. You're completely safe and the sand is soft. And it's got a cool feeling beneath your feet. The heat from the day has allowed it to cool down. And the stars are out. And you may not even see the water's edge from where you are. But you can hear the waves. Maybe they're even crashing on the beach. And there's just a powerful sound to the sea. Perhaps you can find a little place to sit down or lie down amongst some sort of sand dunes if you know this beach well, or you can bring this into mind. The stars are out, it's a full moon, so it's well lit. And as you sit down on the sand, you can feel the coarse grains. Close your eyes and just hear the rhythmic crashing of the waves. Every breath you can take in that salty air that feels like it cleanses you every time you breathe. Being in this low light is a sort of a magical feeling of stillness. A deep, peaceful, blissful feeling. The sorts of feelings that allow you to really connect with your universe. And although we're one human being, we're one little speck in the whole of time, we are divinely here on purpose. With our own purpose, whether we know it or not. We're destined here, and you imagining this midnight ocean. Perhaps being around nature in this visualization allows you to connect more deeply with your soul. That essence of us that lives on. So just taking a few more moments now just to be in this space. So however you imagined that beach and that crashing ocean, whether you could visualize it clearly or not, doesn't matter. It's just about the feelings that it evokes for you, and whether you're in that space of feeling quite peaceful and blissful. Take a few deep breaths. Notice if you can almost smell that saltiness And then very gradually we can come back into our evening. So moving fingers and toes, maybe rocking the head from side to side, rolling shoulders if that feels good. And then if you're lying down, hugging knees in. And in your own time, you can join me seated. No rush, moving slowly. And feeling lovely about yourself. And bringing hands to heart center. Om Shanti. Namaste.